wonderful Life Path 6 person. Welcome to your 2024 Numerology Tarot forecast with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. I just want to say a massive thank you so much to all of you who supported my work throughout 2023 and beyond. It really does mean a lot, especially those of you that have been with me longer than that. You know it means the absolute world. I love that you guys come back to these every month, every 3 months, every quarter, right? You know, all of the rest of it. I love that you do that, and I love that you share how these are showing up for you. The validations really do mean a lot, and all of your support just means the absolute world to me. I really hope you have a wonderful 2024. So without further ado, let's see what the numerological energies are saying specifically for your life path over 2024. All right, so you are a life path 6, right? So in terms of your life, this is a year for adventure. It means that you're going to have to step outside of your bubble and to get active and start engaging life. This isn't a year for you to do the usual thing where you're looking after other people. This is a year for you to break out of your rut, break out of your shell, and do everything and anything new and novel. This is a year for experiences that widen your whole view of life, that help you engage new ideas, new philosophies, new people and places. This is really about getting out of your comfort zone and reminding yourself that life is happening out there, not in your sort of tight-knit little community that you've created around yourself. All right, now when it comes to love, if you are single and looking, there are potentially several options available to you, right, in order to date. It might not so if you're in a personal year 2 or a personal year 6, this might not necessarily be long, should I say, unless you are in a personal year 2 or in a personal year 6. The connections that you make this year in terms of dating might not necessarily be long term. The reason I say that is because the way that your energy, your life path energy interacts with the year, it's flighty and it's fast and sexy and energetic and passionate. It's not necessarily, unless again, like I say, you're in a 2-year or a 6-year, it's not really so much for settling down. All right. Now, if you're partnered, this is a year to get adventurous, open things up, get down and dirty with your partner. This is a time for you to be in that magical energy of sexual play and desire and intimacy, right? This is a year to, when I say open it up, I don't mean, you know, unless that's for you, in which case you do you, boo, get yours, right? Boo, boo, kitty. For when it comes to your finances, this year, finances are very much focused on experiences, on fun and frivolity and travel and excitement. This is a year to make your heart race or to feel like a gamble, right? So anything that feels like a gamble is highly favored. Now, it's a year to remember what it was like to be young and to feel immortal, right? When you're a teenager, you feel like you can take on the world. Like you're like, whatever, man, I've got years ahead of my life. Like nothing stops you. It is a somewhat spenny year, Henny. Okay, so you do need to watch the spendage this year because the way that you're going to interact with this year, it will heighten that energy. And also, the year itself is an 8-year, right? 8 makes everybody a little bit more spinny henny, okay? So when it comes to your work, this is a great year for you to become an expert. It's also a really great year for sales, marketing, all manner of broadcasting or getting your messages out there. This is a year to be bold and daring and to throw yourself into the world of work, especially like if this means gaining new skills or being open to new kinds of responsibilities that you haven't had before. There will be challenges this year in work, right? Especially ones that are aimed at making you more resilient, building your clout in the office in some regard. And then when it comes to your health, like health-wise this year, your energy is high, it's robust, it's a year where you are prone to burnout. So you do need to watch out for this, right? And the reason that will happen is when you try to do everything all at the same time. It's like when you're burning the candle at both ends, right? That's the only time. But outside of that, you'll have a lot of energy this year. Unless you're in a personal year 7, this will work, you know, work slightly differently for you. And obviously you can check out bits and pieces that I have for that. This year, you are being asked to keep active, but also to know your limits, right? And even if that means testing the limits. How do we know our limits? We have to test them, right? So this year, I think you're going to discover so much about yourself. I think it's going to be a wonderful energy for you. With that said, stay tuned while we get into your 12-month, month-by-month breakdown with the tarot. Take care, and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 6 person. Welcome to your 12 month by month tarot breakdown. So let's get straight into it. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, like peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your, let's have a look. So you get one destiny card, one direction card per month of the year. You guys know how this works by now. And remember, the first card out, it kind of typifies the year that you're going to have sort of moving forward, right? It's not just about January, it's kind of about the whole year. So it's a really important one, all right? So for your first card out, you have the Sun card. Boom! Look at this, right? Lucky you guys. So far, you're the only life path number that has had the Sun card as the first card out, right? So this tells me that this year is going to be smooth. It's going to be easy. Remember, the Sun card is light, heat, blessings, joy, abundance, happiness. This is a wonderful energy to have for this year ahead. Now, the thing that you do need to be aware of, whenever people see the Sun card, it's like they always expect, oh yeah, I'm winning the lottery, Jason Momoa's going to knock the door tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not that. Maybe this just says that compared to the year that you've had previously, you know, if it was a challenging one, as I know it was for a lot of people, this suggests that you're having a much easier year, that things are smooth. So it doesn't say that there are going to be no challenges. It says that you're able to traverse or move through those challenges that much easier. It doesn't say that all the biggest blessings in the world are showing up. Sometimes this could just be that you sail through the year relatively unscathed with like a really low radar. But because you have the Sun card as the first card out, it does suggest that this year, you lean in, right? You do whatever you possibly can. Now, January, you are starting the year with this optimistic sort of pep in your step vibe. And it means that you're coming into the world in a way that really does feel not only aligned, but it feels like there's a lot of fun. It feels like, you know, when you have that sort of like it's a fresh new year sort of energy inside you, you have this, but for the whole year. And January, you are starting the year stellar. So on the 2nd of January, so it was worth noting, we do start the year with a Mercury retrograde, but come the 2nd of January, Mercury will be direct, right? So no big problems, no big issues there. What I love most about this actually is, you know, last year we started the year with a Mercury retrograde, a Mars retrograde. It felt like it took forever just for the year to start. Whereas this year we'll come into it like, yes, there's the post retrograde shadow, but it's not going to be the same as last year. Like this year, we are getting into it pretty early, right? Now, that being said, on the 21st of the month of January, Pluto comes back into the sign of Aquarius. This is a big deal, right? For all of us in some way, shape or form. Now, for this and all of the other astrological transits that I'm going to be talking about throughout these readings, if you want to get your personal, well, I say personal, for your sign, your sun, moon or ascendant sign, your look at the year ahead, those are out now for your purchasing pleasure. You can get those on the link in the description box below. They're $7.99 a piece this year, or you can get the entire bundle for $49.99. Totally worth it. They make really good Christmas presents as well. And on top of that, another thing to remember, these are localized. I've smoothed the process out this year so you can buy your sun, moon and ascendant sign just as an upsell. It's nice and easy. Now, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me sell you things from time to time. This is, after all, my business. With that said, all right, let's get into your direction card. Let's flesh out this Sun card. How do you lean into this? How do you get the most out of it? All right, for this, you have... Dun, dun, dun. The 9 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. So really, right, January is a month for you to, one of the things that I will say to you, you start the year with that smooth, easy vibe. Like, I'm expecting a lot of you, even if it's cold where you are, to be wearing flip-flops, maybe like one of those crazy shirts. You're just easing into the year. The Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card. It's a stop and smell the roses card, and you've got this with the Sun card. It means that for a lot of you, you might actually be on holiday at the start of the year. Right? You might have done the smart thing and got out of Dodge. Now, another thing as well, the challenge months of this year are January, April, May, and July. If you, for those of you that do purchase the year ahead stuff, you will see this as part of that. Now, it is worth mentioning with the Nine of Pentacles, it's almost the Ten of Pentacles, but not quite. So it does suggest there's still a little bit of hard work to do for you to reach completion, but it is a moment for you to stop and realize just how far you've come. So January, you might be really taking stock of where you've been, what you've been experiencing, how things have been going for you. And you might be looking at it's almost like you're staring down 2024 and saying, right, you know what? I'm using a strategy this year, and I love this for you. For your February, you have the Faith card. So in this deck, it's called Faith, but this is actually the Hierophant card. You may be leaning on your faith. You might be enhancing your faith. You might really at this time be thinking to yourself, wow, I've got so much to be grateful for. This might see you really delving into your day-to-day routines and rituals. It might also see you interacting with your local authority in some way. So here in the UK, we have like councils. We've got like the local council. We've got the town hall, all of that kind of stuff. To clarify on this, you've got the 10 of Cups. Like, save some good cards for everyone else, Life Path 6. Wow, right? So I will say this, for those of you that are looking to buy a home, that February energy is immense for you, right? So interacting with a local authority, with an estate agent, with a bigger or larger institution for the 10 of Cups, which is a home, a property. It also represents your family and those people that are closest to you. The 10 of Cups is like the 9 of Cups, a wish fulfilled that's so abundant that you can share it with everybody. Now, look, January and February, these are absolute power months for you. If you're looking to sell a home in February, this does suggest that maybe you get a really good price for it. There's something here about a bigger institution or an authority figure of some sort in your life that's going to bat for you, that's really working on your behalf or in your favor. So I love this. I'm very chuffed to see this for all of you. Now, as we come into March, we're going to have the first eclipse of the year on the 25th of March. We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. So if you want to find out how that speaks to you and your sign, you know what to do. You can get those on the link in the description box below. You can get your sun, moon and ascendant sign all in one package. You buy them as an upsell. It's all really easy this year. I've listened to everything that you guys asked for. So look, it's an eclipse. Now, this eclipse, because it's a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra, think way back when to October 14th of 2023. What were you starting? What were you initiating? What was the biggest theme in your life that was starting to emerge at that time? Because it's likely to be wrapping up here in March, right? For this, you have the High Priestess. So a hidden thing revealed. Something is coming to the forefront. Something is coming into the light. For some of you, this might be something coming into your consciousness. This might be that you awaken or you become aware of something that much more. You've got this with the Three of Cups. Okay, so one of the ways that this could show up, this could be a clandestine reunion, right? Now, it doesn't have to be that it's an affair, but this could be, let's say you've fallen out with a family member and nobody's talking to them and, it's the whole thing. And you're like, you know what? You reach out to this person or they reach out to you and say, look, can we go for coffee? The Three of Cups is a reunion energy. And with the High Priestess, it suggests that you're having that reunion under wraps. You're doing it secretly. For some of you, this could be that you're meeting with an old colleague from a place that you used to work at about a job that's going and they're kind of giving you some inside information. This could be that you are reconnecting with somebody that you went to school with, maybe somebody that you used to date, right? And in that regard, it might be, an old friend that you haven't seen for a long time. But because the High Priestess is here, it's like whatever you are doing, it's happening under wraps. It's not common knowledge. There's something that you're keeping to yourself. Now, the other thing with the High Priestess, this is very much about your psychic awareness and intuition. The Three of Cups is also a birthing and or child card, which tells me that there might be a secret pregnancy, or somebody may come to you this year and say to you, you know, in March, look, I'm pregnant and I don't really know how to talk about it. That could be for any number of reasons. It might be that they are, you know, they thought they were past having children at this point. It might be, you know, on the really sort of heavier end of the scale, I don't know if that person's actually the father. You know, it could be all kinds of stuff. Little bit of drama, darling. All right, so in April, powerful, packed astrological month. We have the second eclipse, right? In fact, let's start with the Mercury retrograde. On the 2nd of April, Mercury starts its retrograde. That's going to go right the way through to the 25th of April. So Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aries. As if that wasn't enough, we've got a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on the 8th of April. Those are two pretty decent sort of transits. But then on the 18th of April, Jupiter and Uranus are coming into a conjunction. This is massive. It's a once in 14 year transit. To find out how this is going to speak to you and your sign, you know what to do, right? That being said, watch out for it because it's in the sign of Taurus, so it's going to hit all of us in some way, shape or form. This is a packed astrological month. Now for this, you've got the moon card, right? So what does this tell us? The past truly is alive and kicking at this time. Whatever reunion is taking place in March, it looks like it spills over into April. It's likely to be bringing back themes, trends, ideas, people, expressions, thoughts, you know, conversations even from the past in some way, shape or form. Now, the other thing is with April, the moon card is not the easiest of energies and it's not the clearest of energies. So you do want to navigate this month almost with like a pinch of salt. Don't take anything at face value and watch your reactions to things, all right? There might be a few people doing the whole knee-jerk thing. With this, you've got the Hanged Man. So on a physical health and vitality level, I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, that's not what this is. But what I will say on a physical health and vitality level, watch out for things like water retention, watch out for things like hormone imbalances, right? There could be a lot of this kind of thing going on at the moment. And this is a doubly confusing kind of energy. And I've got to say, April is a month of big delays for you, all right? So you really do need to be very conscious of what is taking place at this time. Just keep that as a consideration, all right? Like you really need to think about this in a sort of very smart kind of way, all right? Now, when it comes to May, Jupiter, the Lord of growth, expansion, abundance, you know, and levity, happiness, joy, gifts, opportunities, is leaving the sign of Taurus where it's inflated the price of everything and coming into the sign of Gemini. This is a big deal because it's a once in 12 year transit. To find out how that's going to hit you in your sign, you know what to do. Now, that being said, Jupiter in the sign of Gemini, it brings a focus on education. It's going to bring a massive focus on any and all things to do with communication. And I am fully expecting, like at the moment in this day and age, communication is already lightning fast. This is going to take it, I think, to a quantum level. I think there's going to be way more emphasis on communication, faster communication, good quality communication. There might even be new magazines, new publications and stuff that start coming through, or ones that are already there now start to get their day. So I'm really intrigued by this to see how it's going to go. For May, you have the World card, right? So you are getting a level up in some way, shape or form. You are taking a big step forward or potentially a big step upward, especially for those of you that are climbing the corporate ladder, or, you know, you're employed by someone else, or even if you've got your own business. Now, this also speaks to you coming into connection with a community of some sort. And to clarify on this, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So for those of you that are working, for those of you that are at career age, etc., this bodes very, very well for you. It almost, to me, screams like blessings and abundance that come from or through the career and enable you to really find strong footing in the advancement of your career. The Wheel of Fortune is it's like a stroke of luck. The World card is a travel card. The Wheel of Fortune can be a travel card. This is like the Wheel of Fortune on its own sees you in the right place at the right time. This combination could truly see you that. And for those of you that are employed by somebody else, it could absolutely be that. I love this for you. I mean, so far, to be honest with you, May has worked out for a few life paths pretty decent. And I'm intrigued by this because on the wider world stage, I feel like it's going to be a little bit shaky. Now, in June, you have the Lovers, all right? So love, relationship, partnerships is very much on the mind at this time. You may be considering your relationships and your significant other if you have one. For those of you that are single, you might be delving into, you know, who is around, like, you know, what are the possibilities, what are the options that are available to me. Now, in terms of the Lovers card, this also represents choice. So what are you making choices with? The Ace of Cups. This, for those of you that are single, there are options. There is more than one option available and open to you. My advice would be to kind of be open to the dating sort of scene and make the decision based on what your heart is telling you, because the Ace of Cups is about the heart. So for those of you that have struggled with relationships, that have been, you know, single for what feels like ever, this bodes very, very well for you. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is good news that comes into the relationship. And it's not about a partner's money or anything like that. This is happy news that you share. Potentially a pregnancy, if for those of you that are of childbearing age or want children, potentially an adoption goes through, all of that kind of stuff. Or it could just be that some goal, wish, hope, or big desire that you and your partner as a collective have had now comes to fruition. You're making a choice for your future and it goes really, really well for you. For July, you have the Tree of Life card. So this is one of my favorite cards across all of my decks, right? And it represents divine intervention and assistance. So in terms of divine assistance, this is like whatever challenges show up for you this month, not only are they smooth and easy to pass, and so far, apart from April, I've been true to my word, right? You got the Sun card. So relatively this year looks like it's been pretty good to you. The Tree of Life as an assistance, as I was saying, this is where things that you need, things that you desire just kind of show up for you in like really weird ways. It's almost like you don't have to do anything. It's like the good stuff just finds you. In terms of intervention, this will show up as either delays or detours. And what I like to call them is the divine delay or the divine detour. This is where something gets in the way of what your plan or your destination was. And then you're kind of like, oh, you know, that sucks. But you end up getting something better or arriving at a place a much better time for you. So if at any point throughout July you think like, oh, why is this not working? It means there's something much better coming in for you as a result of this. And you know, the saying goes, rejection is God's protection. To clarify on this, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So where it comes to matters of money, home, finances, especially when it comes to things like savings pots and deposits, this is really good news because it means that the money that you require is available to you. It also suggests that the money that you have is the money that you have is protected. So make wise decisions, be a good steward of the money that you are receiving or that you are holding at this time. But just know there is divine intervention and wisdom working in your favor when it comes to your resources. Finally, you are being encouraged to look at maybe where you're being a bit too rigid around things like finances and health in the month of July. Now, as we come into August, we have the second Mercury retrograde of the year. Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Leo. This is the sign of the celebrity, the sign of the king, the sign of the queen, the sign of the, you know, those, we call them the glitterati, right? So I'm fully expecting to see some interesting stuff happen around this time. Now, that being said, it starts on the 4th of August and it will end on the 29th of August. So basically the whole month. For this, you have the Temperance card. So you yourself are finding a balance point but you're also being reminded that in order for you to advance, you need to find a sense of alignment. This is really asking you to get into that, and it comes up with the Ace of Pentacles. So this could actually be July and August could be months where health considerations are coming up, not necessarily in a bad way, but where you are really thinking about, okay, I'm now moving into a space where I'm looking after my health a lot more, or I'm at least more conscious of it. The Ace of Pentacles is usually a new house or a new job. So if you are planning to move, right, maybe in June, you and your partner decide, right, we're going to move or we're going to buy a house. July, you're getting all the money and things together. August, you go ahead and you press the button. Now, it is a Mercury retrograde, so if you're signing a contract at this time, just be extra careful. Get a second or, outside fresh pair of eyes on it. The other thing as well with the Ace of Pentacles, I really like this. And the reason I like this, because the Temperance card has an element of blending all the right things, but the Ace of Pentacles is a very tangible, practical thing. So this is kind of almost like you're saying to yourself, you know what? I know what it is that I need to fix on a day-to-day level in order to make this a possibility or a reality. As we come into September, we have the first eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So this is ushering in that next sort of round of eclipses. Now, this is a big deal because it's a full moon lunar eclipse, so a grand ending, completion or culmination, but it's a full moon lunar eclipse on the North Node, which I feel like it's basically that the moon is going to highlight what is coming in for you over the next 18 months ahead. So right the way into, 2025 and 2026. For this, you have the Chariot card. September is going to be a fast, dynamic month. Hold on to your seats. There is going to be a lot taking place. It's potentially a month of travel for you. And you have this with the Nine of Wands, right? So please, 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 please be careful with your physical health. Please be careful with your body. The Nine of Wands can be, touch wood, sometimes it can be slips, trips, knocks, falls, bumps, bruises, and all of that. And because you've got it with the Chariot card, it potentially shows up as a car accident. Nothing serious before anyone starts freaking out. This would probably be like a fender bender. It's like you're, absent-mindedly doing something and you reverse into a wall, or, like you going into a car parking space and you absolutely trash the person's bumper in front of you and you're like, oh, damn it. Or somebody does it to you. There's nothing here that suggests, serious injury, but at the same time, with the Seven of Swords, with the Chariot card, you do want to be extra careful because the Nine of Wands, as I say, you want to watch out. This can be slips, trips, falls, bumps, bruises, knocks, grazes, scrapes, all of that. Please look after yourself at this time. When it comes to October, you have the Death card, right? Endings, completions, culminations. As if that wasn't enough, it's also worth mentioning. October, you have the new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. New moon solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. This is a pretty big deal because this is basically us closing out that cycle now. And you're going to start to understand, okay, what has this done for my life? What are the things that have really shifted or changed? How do I adapt to all of this? The Death card means that something or, potentially someone is coming to a close or an end. To clarify on this, you've got the Star card. So this actually does suggest a big future plan change. So this could be like, let's say you had plans to, once you moved, maybe you had plans to, I don't know, start your own floristry business. Well, October comes along and says, nope, you don't want to do that. And then suddenly you realize there's a brand new path that opens up ahead of you or in front of you. Because it is the Star card, the thing that you do need to be mindful of is this is very optimistic. And with the Death card here, it's almost like, I kind of want to say to you, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Because it's almost like you might see something and be so enamored with the forward path that you just kind of chuck everything out and then think, oh, actually, you know what, I probably could have used that, or I can at least take some of the stuff from the past with me. It's almost like I feel like I'm supposed to say to you, don't throw everything out. The other thing with the Star card, this is a very it's an energy of trust, right? It's an energy of truthfulness, and it's a glimpse into the future. you know, I would trust the information that you're getting intuitively at this time. It might also be, October could also be where some kind of technological item in the home, it's probably going to be something like a TV, a DVD player, a PC, laptop, iPad. It will be something like that. Maybe it expires and needs to be replaced. I hope that's not the case, because those things can be quite bloody pricey. Now, November, third and final Mercury retrograde of the year, starts on the 25th of November, goes right the way through to the 16th of December. At this point, that's in Sagittarius. You have the Hanged Man, right? So take your time. November is a time to really slow it down, take your time, take stock of everything that's showing up for you. And you've got this with the Three of Pentacles. For those of you that are thinking about going back to school, maybe you're looking to study something, especially if it's an online course of some sort, this does suggest that there's potentially some kind of delay. So you just need to be mindful and aware that there is potentially a delay with some kind of schooling, potentially with some kind of work or job, but it is likely to be around some kind of vocational training or learning. Finally, in December, you have the Devil card. So December, Mars is going to go retrograde at the end of this year, and it will take us into 2024. So it's going retrograde in the sign of Leo, which means whatever's happening in August, you'll be echoing or revisiting that around here from December into January of 2025. So just things to be mindful of at this time. Now, you've got the Devil card. It's really important that you find a way to work around your own rigidity at this time. And you've got this with the Queen of Wands, okay? So there's something in this about boundaries, having to really draw a hard line in the sand, or to kind of set somebody straight or put them in their place. It may also be that you hold so rigidly to an idea that somebody comes in to say to you, hey, listen, you know what, you're really not showing up as the best version of yourself at this time. Because you've got this with the Devil card, I will say, when it comes to people that you mix and mingle with, this might be a time where you need to really observe whether they're the right ones for you. Now, your challenge months, April, I gotta say, you know, that's a challenge month. September and October, challenge months. December, probably a challenge month. Now, power months, January and February, strong start to the year. I actually even really like March. May, absolute power month. June, power month. July, power month. You know, I even like August as well. Like you've got so many more power months and much stronger energies than any other life path number has had so far. So go you. So your final key to the year from the Human Design Oracle deck is the Gate 6 and Resolve. So yes, it is about resolving situations and allowing them to play out, but it is also about fixing your gaze on the future and finding your personal resolve to see things through. You've got the energies working in your favor, my dear Life Path 6. Now, it's also worth mentioning, if you haven't seen them, there's a free playlist on my YouTube channel that will show you how to work out your personal year number. And there is a video that will give you like a breakdown of how to get the most out of your personal year. Watch that in conjunction with these to really understand, like what I do with this stuff is try to create systems for people for them to really get the most out of everything. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic 2024. Come back month by month, every 3 months, every 6 months, as some of you do. I love it that you do that. It really does mean the world to me. And with that, all the love in the world. Take care, and I'll see you soon.